Yeah, this is time. You got to lose yourself to make.
Hey there, I'm Melyssa Griffin, and my community and I helped fundraise money for Pencils of Promise to build schools right here in Ghana. To me, focusing on education is so important because I believe that education solves every other problem in the world. And when I was trying to think of which organization to support, I knew that Pencils of Promise was the right organization for us because if we can create educated kids, then they will solve every other problem that we experience.
I think education is very important to every person. And also to a whole nation's progress. In the sense that if you yourself are not educated, you don't fit well in society and you face a lot of challenges because every daily things you meet in life, to be able to easily move from one place to the other, to be able to communicate, to be able to actually get a good job, to be able to feed yourself, your family, you need to be educated. So I think education helps the individual as a whole in becoming the real you, and it helps the nation in that educated nations is more developed.
Education creates opportunity, and that's really what we're trying to provide at Pencils of Promise. When our students aren't educated or aren't literate, they don't have the choice to do anything other than be stuck in the same poverty cycle that has been created for generation upon generation. But when they become literate in the national language, they have so many opportunities available to them to choose what door they want to open for their future. And that's the most powerful quality of education in my mind, is that it creates opportunity.
One of the things that motivates me, I've seen a lot happening, is to go to a community where their kids have never even been under a roof structure called a school. Seeing a school in 2012 where about 11 grades of a school was under a mango tree. And then after 2 years or so, you've seen that whole school, that whole community transformed, and you having a school with all teachers in place and the kids learning.
Pencils of Promise impact in Ghana over these few years is very great, in the sense that it's an educational NGO and hitting much more also on literacy, which is actually, I would say, is the core of education. If you can read and write, then you can do all the sciences, the maths, and most of it all. If you go around the country, you realize that our infrastructure is very bad. You see many classrooms, either a very old structure almost collapsing, or either people are studying under a mango tree or some tree somewhere, or inside some zinc shed or something, which is really not very conducive. So Pencils of Promise building and going into literacy, I think it's a very wonderful blend, and over this short time, the number of bills we have done and all that, I think is very great.
One of the things that struck me most about being here in Ghana is that Pencils of Promise doesn't just come in and build a school or a building. They come in and they train teachers on modern teaching methods, and they provide sanitation trainings for all of the kids in the communities here so that they are healthy enough to learn and so that they have access to clean water. So it's not that Pencils of Promise is just coming in and creating a building. They're really coming in and creating educated communities that are able to withstand all of these different factors that come into being able to learn.
We introduced what we call the teacher support program. Teachers come to workshops 3 times in a week, in a year. After that, they get coaching from our staff. So our staff will visit the school twice a month just to support the teachers. They sit in the classroom, engage them, the teachers teach, and then they give them feedback. And we have learned a lot of lessons through this process.
Pencils of Promise is a good NGO. They've transformed the school, they've given us building, and then they have guided us to actually groom the children in terms of hygiene. Children now know how to wash their hands, they know how to drink water using personal cups, and then drinking clean waters.
When you come to a typical Ghanaian classroom, most of the classes don't have enough textbooks or enough storybooks that they can use to read. But as Pencils of Promise, we know that, or we believe that if students have the material to learn to read, then they will be able to read. So this e-reader, it's an electronic device where we have digitized over 100 storybooks and the textbooks that we use in the classrooms. So this aids the teachers to be able to help the students to read in their classrooms. So the fact that if you don't have a storybook or if you don't have a textbook, you can't come to the classroom to read is no more the case in our Pencils of Promise classrooms. As a country, we are so passionate about education because if people are educated, they can change the world.
The goal at Pencils of Promise is not to build every primary school that's needed. Our goal is to build enough schools and develop enough programs that we can put together a data-driven case study to present to the government to demonstrate that our programs are helping educate their students and are driving better student outcomes than what is happening in non-Pencils of Promise schools. This is part of the reason that we build public schools, so that we can work in partnership with the government, so that when we are ready to present that case study, we already have that relationship of trust built with the government.
What I really need, that going feeling, to forget all my sorrows. You understand? Do you? That little thing.
I think over the past 5 years or so that operation started in Ghana, and for me personally, it's been a life-changing experience. Seeing a lot of communities being transformed. There are passionate staff who are ready to go to the rural communities, villages, some walking sometimes on motorbikes, and then see the whole transformation that is happening. You get home and you are like, you feel so proud of yourself that you are making a change in the life of these little ones, and seeing your brothers and sisters who are in these rural communities coming up top in the near future. So these are things that motivate us as individuals and as an organization. So I see the future being very, very bright for this young organization in Ghana.
One of the things that held me back from giving is that I thought I had to make a certain amount of money or have this kind of life where I was able to give more and more. And I eventually realized that you don't need to have money to give. You can start small and you can hold fundraisers, but giving back is one of the most fulfilling things that you can do with your business and your life. And regardless of how much you're giving or what you're doing to raise that money, it's something that will be meaningful and help so many people around the world. So one of my biggest missions now with my business is to incorporate giving into everything that we do and make that a central part of our mission.